you for vibing with me. Mike Sports Vibes, thank you for vibing with me. How's everybody doing on this wonderful morning? How's everybody doing on this wonderful, day? We woke up this morning. God bless everybody. God is good. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I'm just taking this nature walk and talking about my favorite football team, the mighty Minnesota Vikings. Now, the question, by the way, hit the like button when you come in the building. Hit the subscribe button when you come in the building. We are going live for absolutely every Viking game with the scoreboard and everything. And whether you're a Viking fan or not, consider subscribing. This is one YouTube family. And I always say sports are designed to bring us together, not separate us. And we're also going live for primetime games. But let me talk that talk. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Appreciate you. Now, the question of this video is, Viking fans, how do you feel about Rob Brzezinski? If I jacked his name up, my bad. Right now, he's pretty much in charge when it comes to the Vikings, the big decisions. And he recently just had a press conference talking about he's just focusing on these next 2 months and possibly beyond. And he's also, focusing on the draft. And, he says a big responsibility. It definitely is a big responsibility. So I agree with everything he's saying. Now, how do I feel about him? He does have a lot of experience in the NFL. He's been, in the NFL for 30 plus years. And on top of that, he's been working for the Minnesota Vikings for 27 plus years. So he has a lot of experience on how an NFL team runs. Now, I don't really know how good he is when it comes to like the detail stuff, like when it comes to like scouting for talent and all that other stuff. I don't know about that. But I will say this, for him to be working in the NFL with a job for 30 plus years is big time. And for him to be with the Vikings for 20 something years is big time. So he knows what we're all about. I'm pretty sure he knows the pulse of the Minnesota Viking fan base, where we're trying to win a Super Bowl. So I'm confident in what he can possibly do. And maybe he can be the GM for the future, not just right now, but actually the GM for the future if he does a good job with the 2026 NFL draft. And if he does a good job with all the big decisions, because, free agency and trying to trade certain players like Hargrave. There's rumors that they're trying to trade Hargrave. Shout out to you. Shout out to, But shout out to everybody that's in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come in the building. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying. So, if he does a good job, he could definitely be the GM of the present and the future. But as a Viking fan, we have to see results. We have to see results. You know what I mean? Yeah, we have to see results. Because at the end of the day, our division is very good. The NFC North division is definitely one of the best divisions in football. When you got the Bears doing what they're doing, when you got the Packers, they look good. The Lions, they took a step back, but the Lions possibly can, they might be better next year. Now, what are the Vikings going to do next year? So it all starts with, drafting, developing, and free agency. And what steps are we going to take when it comes to the big decisions with the quarterback position? Are they going to bring in some competition that can actually possibly challenge J.J. McCarthy? And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens from there. Bro, I know you can see it. I'm the only one typing in the chat. What are you talking about? Check it out, please. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? See what? But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I feel like the Minnesota Vikings are definitely one of the teams that people don't see doing anything in 2026. I know people are probably saying the Vikings have no chance of being a true contender in next year. Nobody sees that. But you know what I always say is, shout out to Mike in the building. It's all about, it's any given Sunday and it's any given season. Nobody knows what teams are going to do good. No one really knows what teams are going to do great. The teams that are the most consistent, obviously they have a franchise quarterback that is probably all time or pretty good. Like if they're healthy, 9 times out of 10, they're going to make the playoffs. But there's not many teams like that. Like you got the Bills, you got the Chiefs, you got the Ravens if Lamar Jackson is healthy. Let me put the Seahawks in there. Sam Darnold's pretty darn good himself. Matthew Stafford. Who else? Let me go to the young quarterbacks. I think Jaden Daniels is big time. I think Caleb Williams is big time. But there really ain't no guarantee, man. Because like I said, any given season, the Vikings without. Let me get this first one over here too. All right, so the Vikings without a new quarterback are going to lose no matter what. They got Kevin O'Connell on their mind and refuse to give him up. And every time we step up in the building, we keep on getting L's. We keep on putting L's going up. And we stay there. It's like, nah. But yeah, man, Kevin O'Connell got to, he got to do his job at a high level this upcoming season. He has to do his job at a high level. We're not just talking about the beginning of the season all the way to the end. We need consistency, especially at the end, because we trying to do something in the playoffs. What's going on, Mello? Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come in the building. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. It really helps the channel out. But yeah, man. Rob Brzezinski, how do you feel about him? And do you think he can put the Vikings in a better situation than we're in right now when it comes to drafting, free agency, et cetera, because yeah, he was talking, he didn't really say too much, man, yesterday, man. A lot of these dudes are professionals. They're professionals on how to deflect what we really want to hear. They say a whole bunch of stuff, but don't be saying nothing. He said, all right, well, yeah, in these next 2 months, I just want the best for the team, in other words, and of course, until the draft and after that, and we'll see what happens after that when it comes to, the decisions that he's going to make, but he ain't really saying nothing, man. Kevin O'Connell ain't really saying too much either. They're not going to give everything yet. But, I have that feeling that Kevin O'Connell, the GM, Rob Brzezinski, and the ownership, really the ownership, I have a feeling that they're going to try to make a blockbuster trade. And they're going to try to get under the salary. They're going to try to. That's why there's rumors trying to trade Hargrave. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to trade somebody else that we're not thinking about. But Hargrave is the popular one right now. I think they said if they could trade him, that's saving $21 million. You know what I mean? That'd be big time. Now, they said if they release Hargrave, that means they'll save $10 million, but they still got $11 million of dead cap. That's not good. $11 million just to still pay the man. It's not no, bro. Let's try to trade him, but if there's no takers, there's nothing you can do. You got to save some money to try to bring some more talent in the building. Man, I really be feeling like these dudes be making the worst deals. I don't know what they was thinking trying to bring in Hargrave and thought he was that guy. I thought Hargrave was better than what he showed. He did have moments. But the worst one, in my opinion, was Jonathan Allen. That signing was horrible. I hate to say this, but he can't do worse than Kwesi did. Kwesi might have did okay in decent drafting and free agency. Decent draft and free agency, but he the cap and dropped the ball to too many other places. Now, he had a mixture. He had some really bad and he had some solid things that he did, but the worst part about Kwesi is he can't draft for nothing. He can't really draft all like that. In free agency, he made some, and then it didn't help that you made a lot of mistakes in free agency as well. So, like, it's Skol, what's going on, brother, man? BLK, what's good with you, bro? Kwesi just made a lot of mistakes, and that's why he's fired. That's just the honest truth, you know? That's why I'm hoping that Rob Brzezinski and Kevin O'Connell can get this team to where we need it to be. Hello. Hello. But yeah, I hope they can figure it out. I think they'll be able to figure it out. I feel like the Vikings are we're not as bad as what people think we are. I mean, I know we didn't make the playoffs last year, but we're like a game out of the playoffs. You know what I mean? So anything could have happened. Now, what would have happened if we would have made the playoffs? Who really knows? You know, of course, I'm not going against my squad. I'm not going to go against the Vikings. But I'll be honest with you, like how bad our offense was all season. I don't know if they're capable of turning it up in the playoffs. If the regular season they couldn't score in the regular season, how the heck you gonna score in the postseason? And I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Now, I always say that the regular season and postseason are two different seasons, obviously. So you could have the number one defense in the regular season, and then you get to the postseason, and that one team has your number and they destroy your defense. Or you can have not the best defense, terrible in the Vikings situation. You had the terrible offense, and somehow, some way, they look good in the playoffs. Now, that could happen as well. You know, my delusional self, I would have said we would have beat everybody. I don't care. I would have been like, hey, we beating everybody. It is what it is. That's just how I feel. Being a Viking fan, I call myself the most delusional Viking fan in the world history. I'm probably the most delusional Viking fan ever. I'm not going against my squad. Hey, listen, we get to the playoffs, anything can happen. That's how I look at it. But I'm a delusional Viking fan. So, what's good? What's going on, Lee? If the first 8 games... Hold on. I hate I read that comment. He said, what's going on? If the first 8 games of the next season doesn't go well for your Vikings, do you think Kevin O'Connell is gone mid-season? Brian Flores seems like a better option than Kevin O'Connell, in my opinion. You wanna know the honest truth? I'm gonna give you my honest truth about that whole situation. You know, I want Kevin O'Connell I want him to prove me wrong. I want Kevin O'Connell to do well. I want Kevin O'Connell to get us our first Super Bowl. But the truth is this. He going to have to prove to me and prove to a lot of other Viking fans. I'm not one of these, listen, respectfully speaking, everybody can have their own opinion. But I'm not one of the Viking fans that think Kevin O'Connell can do no wrong. Kevin O'Connell, to me, made so many mistakes last season. Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for just last season. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for just last season that just passed. But I'm going to tell you this right now, as a Viking fan, he better show me something this upcoming season. And I think that he will be fired mid-season. Probably not even mid-season. Probably like week 5. I can see him getting fired week 5. Like, say we go 1-4 in 5 games. Or say we go 0-5. I can see him fired. Because what I know about this ownership is they don't like to lose. They don't like to lose. That's one thing I like about this ownership. They don't like to lose, right? So they don't want to be looked at as like one of the worst franchises that they can't win. They're never contenders and they have no chance. Now, I like Kevin O'Connell, his speeches at like when we win games, but you got to do more than have speeches at when we win games. What about the adjustments at halftime? What about winning the games that count? What about adjusting to the talent you have on the field, offensively and defensively? Because you're a head coach. You're the coach of the whole team. How about putting your team in better situations? Like, I'm talking about from the very beginning of the game. Like, it seems like sometimes some of the games that they played last year, they wasn't even ready, bro. They wasn't even ready. They looked like they weren't prepared at all, which is crazy to me. It's crazy. But yeah, to answer your question, I think Kevin O'Connell will be fired if he doesn't be productive. He will be fired, and we'll see about we'll see if not Quasi. Oh my goodness, we'll see if Brian Flores would take his job. You know that he pretty much sued the NFL, so would the Vikings even go that route just because of that? I don't really know. He might be the best choice, but it's not about it's about the politics of the NFL as well. The owners of the Vikings might get penalized for making him a head coach in other ways. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to think a little bit deeper because there's no reason why he shouldn't be a head coach right now. That's my thing. There's no reason why if you're going by production as a coordinator, he should be a head coach right now. So these are the ones I trade to appease Vikings. I trade more if it was just me. Hargraves, Allen, Darrisaw, Hockenson. You say $55 million off the cap with those trades. Plus get picks. You know what? The whole Darrisaw, you're not the only one that's saying the Darrisaw. You know, Darrisaw is he's definitely one of the best left tackles in the game. But like, the best ability is availability. And if you're not available for most of the games, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. And that's the issue that we have with Christian Darrisaw. He's not available, even though he's so good when he does play. And, man, save some money, get younger on the offensive line. I wouldn't mind that. Now, I'd rather get rid of Brian O'Neill than Christian Darrisaw, but yeah, either or. I mean, I agree with most of what you're saying. Restructure Fries, O'Neill, JJ, and AJ will save another 30-40 million on the cap. I like that. Restructuring JJ, that's big money right there. Minnesota Vikings should get Sauce Gardner. What is Sauce Gardner's he's not a free agent, is he? He's not a free agent. I don't think he's a free agent. He is coming off not Achilles, ACL, I think. Y'all know how I feel about Sauce, but you know, those knee injuries are very risky, man. I like him. I like Sauce, but you know, I don't know. I'd rather take my chances depending on what his deal is. I'll take my chances in the draft and get a corner than giving up draft picks and giving him a contract extension depending on what his contract looking like. I like Sauce though. You can never get. I like Sauce. I do like Sauce. Yeah, I'm not giving up too much. I like Sauce. Even his rookie year, he wasn't that good. He just wasn't called on a lot of, yeah. I like Sauce, man. But you know who one of my favorite corners is, man? Mike put me on him. Gonzalez from the Patriots, man. Gonzalez, to me, that man's a straight up dog, man. If it wasn't for Gonzalez, the Patriots would have got blown out. The Patriots would have got blown out, man, in that Super Bowl. Sam Darnold was throwing some dimes. That one dime before halftime, yo, Gonzalez last second broke that pass up. Hey, listen, if it wasn't for Gonzalez, man, they would have got beat down. Because Gonzalez made a lot of good plays. He was all over the place on that football field. But yeah, honestly, the big names, like I get it. Like if you ain't, we got to focus on developing talent and have our own homegrown big names. We don't really got too much money to work with until they restructure deals and trade players. We don't really got too much to really work with. So the biggest thing for the Vikings is developing the talent that we have. We have to develop the talent that we have and the talent that we're about to draft in the 2026 NFL draft. Because I don't care how high of a pick that you draft these guys in. If you're not developing them, it doesn't matter. And that's what we failed to do. When it comes to developing the players that we have, bro, like, we don't do it. We don't do it at a high enough level. Gonzalez was definitely the Patriots MVP, yes. If it wasn't for Gonzalez, they would have got destroyed. And I'm talking about the first half. I'm not even just talking about the whole game. I'm talking about the first half. They would have got destroyed. Because Sam was throwing some dimes, man. If it wasn't for Gonzalez just being better when it comes to breaking up those passes, man, it would have been a wrap, man. That one pass in the end zone would have been a TD, bro. Probably most of every corner would have gave up that touchdown. Gonzalez last second batted the ball away. So, shout out to Gonzalez. He one of them dogs, man. I'm gonna have to follow him next season a lot more. I'm gonna follow Gonzalez a lot more. Because that dude's a straight up dog. The only thing that Patriots needed, they needed a defensive tackle, man. They couldn't stop the run for nothing. But getting back to what I was saying though. You know, I want to believe in Rob Brzezinski, but I got to see the results, man. I don't care what anybody, I don't care what Kevin O'Connell says. I don't care what Rob says. I got to see what they do. Because it all sounds good. You're not going to make me feel all good inside. Oh, well, they're saying a lot of cool things. They're saying a lot of good things. No, I'm not falling for it. You got to show me. I need to see results because actions speak louder than words. Can I talk that talk? Action speaks louder than words. I don't care about what they, I mean, it sounds good, but we going to see. I'm about results. I'm not about just talking and yapping and yapping and yapping. I need to see some results. Shout out to Chris Farrell in the building. Patriots defense as a whole didn't play bad. Patriots offense was just bad. Yeah, as a whole, they didn't play bad. The only weakness is they was giving up some yards on the ground, especially in the first half. Their secondary held it down. And Gonzalez was one of the main reasons, man. That man is a straight up dog, man. I want a cornerback like Gonzalez, man. Like, I like Byron Murphy. I like Isaiah Rodgers. Can I go get a Gonzalez? Can the Vikings draft a Gonzalez? Go get me one of them guys. That's what I want. Go get me a Gonzalez. Go get me a Gonzalez. And I'll be happy. I'll be happy. Yeah. Skol, let's get it. Gonzalez had to contain JSN, which is not many could do during the season. No, heck no. Nobody can really stick him. He's one of the best wide receivers in the game. They need to start talking about him as one of the top 5 wide receivers in the game. They don't talk about JSN as much like they probably should. You know, they talk about a lot of other wide receivers, which is, I ain't hating on none of them. But, yeah, man. But that man Gonzalez is a really good corner. Really good corner. But, yeah, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Appreciate y'all. But, yeah, man, I want to believe in Rob. I really do. I want to believe in Kevin O'Connell. But my mindset is I got to see the results on that football field. That's pretty much what it comes down to when it comes to me. I have to see the results on that football field. If I don't see the results on the football field, it doesn't matter what you said that sounds nice and good. I don't care about that no more. I never really did, but definitely now, because now I'm to the point where there's too many Viking fans that never seen a Super Bowl, that never seen the Vikings get to the Super Bowl. Of course, nobody saw us win a Super Bowl because we never won a Super Bowl. But on top of that, it's like we in the mindset like, yo, we want to see some results. It's not about rushing the process. Like people are like, oh, you're just trying to rush into a Super Bowl. We ain't never win a Super Bowl, so how are we rushing into a Super Bowl? We ain't never win to rush. We never won a Super Bowl, so how are you rushing into a Super Bowl? We ain't never win. So I don't even get that. Oh, you're rushing the development of players. Well, to be honest with you, the NFL, especially nowadays, is what have you done for me lately? If you are a first round pick, yes, you'll have multiple chances at it, right? But once you get on that football field, you got to show something. It is what it is. It's just part of the game. It's part of the game. Yes, it takes a while for players to become all-time great. I get that. But you got to show something. You can still develop and show something. You know what I mean? I don't want to draft players in the first round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, and none of the players can play on the dang on football field at all, except for special teams. Now, if you're a Viking fan that feels that way, I respectfully disagree with that because I gotta see something, man. Whether you're a corner, a safety, a running back, a wide receiver, any position you can name, guard, tackle, center, quarterback. I'm not saying you have to be a Pro Bowler as soon as you get on the football field, but we need to see something, especially if you're drafted in the first or second round or third round. I'm just being honest with you. Like, I just seen Drake May. Mind you, he had a good team around him. I know people are going to say his schedule was easy, whatever. I don't even care about that because at the end of the day, you still got to stay healthy. A lot of things have to work in your favor. And these are still professional teams that he beat. It's not like he went against college teams. Drake May was 23 years old and was in the Super Bowl. He wasn't the best of his, listen, Drake May is only going to get better. Drake May is honestly going to get better. He's 23 years old, and he got to his first Super Bowl. No, did he win? No, he didn't win. But my point is, he showed his talent in his rookie season. He showed his talent in his second season and got to the Super Bowl and was making passes all season long, was using his legs to run for first downs all season long. Got one of the strongest arms in the NFL. One of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not even at his best. That's my point. I'm not saying that, oh, when they get on the field, they got to be a Hall of Famer. That's impossible. Well, I don't want to say it's impossible because there's some players that just have it. They have it automatically. But 9 times out of 10, by the time you reach your prime, you have to probably be 5 years, 4 years into the NFL. And you know, the NFL, like my boy Mike said the other day, career in the NFL is like really 3 years. So if you get past the third year, you must be doing something good. You must be doing something good. But shout out to Smeagol in the building. Everybody in the building. I need everybody in the building to hit the like button. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. We are going live for absolutely every single Viking game with the scoreboard and everything. And whether you're a Viking fan or not, consider subscribing. This is one YouTube family. And I always say sports are designed to bring us together, not separate us. We're also going live for primetime games, not all but some. But shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate y'all. So I got to look around because I don't want people thinking I'm crazy when I be yelling. Seeing a championship every 5 to 10 years isn't unreasonable expectation. Winning the division every 3 to 4 isn't either. Facts. I just want to get the draft right for once. And this is why I said what I said. Smeagol, I said, should Viking fans, how do you feel about Rob what's your name? Brzezinski. If I jacked up his name, my bad. How do you feel about him? Because he's going to be a big part of the drafting and all that. And he's been in the NFL for 30 plus seasons. He's been working for the Vikings for 27 seasons. Is he good at drafting? Would he be good at drafting? And et cetera, et cetera. And he said a lot of good things, but my whole mindset is I got to see the results. I don't care what anybody says. From Kevin O'Connell, the GM that's right now, Rob, ownership, anybody. I want to see results. I want to see the Vikings have a good regular season and have a very good postseason. Let me repeat myself. I want to see the Vikings have a good regular season and a very good postseason. Meaning the postseason is going to be even better than the regular season. That's what I want to see. I want to see this team develop the talent that we draft. I want to see the talent that we draft actually on the football field being productive, not looking like they lost. I want to see a team that is built the right way. You can't build a championship team all from free agency. You have to develop your talent. You have to draft better. You have to develop better. That's what I want to see from the Minnesota Vikings. I don't care about everything that the GM and Kevin O'Connell was saying. It sounds good, but I want to see the results. The results is what I want to see. Good results is what I want to see. I think that loss will help May more than all of the last season. Yup. It's going to motivate him. It's going to motivate him. I don't think he freezes up next time. He'll use his mind and legs like he did during the season. Yeah, I agree. J.J. McCarthy got to stay healthy, and he has to make the playoffs and at least win one this year. You know what? It's bigger than J.J. McCarthy, but he is one of the biggest people, one of the biggest players that have to be productive if he is the guy. Because at the end of the day, let's keep it real. Like I said, let me show y'all my scenery real quick. Show you my scenery real quick. Like at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, we have to see more than we've been seeing. Viking fans deserve more than what we've been seeing, man. I don't like the whole 14-3 record. People be putting Kevin O'Connell on this pedestal like the man can do no wrong. I seen a post on someone's channel, and they said, do you still believe in Kevin O'Connell? And I think it was like 80 or 70% of all the fans said, yes, they still believe in him. And I'm trying to figure out how is 70 to 80% of the fan base believing in a coach that hasn't won one playoff game with our team. He won a lot of regular season games and never won one postseason game. And when we got to the postseason, we get outcoached every single time. Shout out to Marcus in the building. I want to see results, man, for real. He was just second guessing himself. Yeah, he was second guessing. He was going against probably the best defense in the game, bro. That happens, especially for a second-year quarterback that's only 23 years old. But my point is, he showed so much growth from his rookie season to his second season in the NFL, and only being 23 years old. One of the biggest reasons why the Patriots got to the Super Bowl was because of his coaching staff developing him. See, people are not understanding. A quarterback could only be as good as the developing, especially when you're so young. You're not going to automatically be an all-world quarterback. I don't care how good they think you are. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be developed. You got flaws in your game. You're going to have some type of flaw. His developing from the rookie season to a second season, he showed tremendous growth as a young quarterback. I'm talking about Drake May. And for him to be able to get his team and battle through the playoffs, he had to win games in the playoffs. To even battle in the playoffs, to get his team to the Super Bowl, I got to give him an applause, man. Shout out to Drake May, man. Shout out to Drake May. He just went against a team that was better. He went against a team that had a bunch of dogs on defense, and he went against a quarterback in Sam Darnold that did what he had to do when it counted. They played off the run game. He didn't turn the ball over, and that's all he needed to do because his defense did a lot of it. You know, just sometimes you don't have to do too much. You know what I mean? People be trying to make it seem like quarterbacks, in order for a quarterback to be an all-time great, he has to throw for 300, 400 yards every game in the playoffs. That's not true, bro. Not turning the ball over and managing the game and doing what you have to do, like whatever the defense gives you, take it. And then some. Take it and then some. Managing the game is more important than throwing for 300-400 yards and you turn the ball over 3 times. Especially if your defense is that good. If your defense is that good, you don't have to do all that. Now, if your defense stinks and you have to do more, of course. You know what game I was watching? And I'm not making this up, y'all. I was watching the NFC Championship game between the Saints and the Vikings. And I'm watching the game, and I got irritated. I ain't gonna lie. I got pissed off, man, watching the game. Like, it was happening live. I had to turn the dang on thing off, bro. I had to turn the game off. I had to turn off. I said, yo, I can't watch this. We got the Saints to turn the ball over on a muff punt. We were in the red zone. Brett Favre handed the ball to Adrian Peterson, and guess what? Adrian Peterson fumbled the ball. He fumbled the freaking ball pretty much at the dang on goal line. And I had to turn the game off because I said, I can't live through this again. I can't watch this game again. I can't. And I'm saying to myself, such a great talent like Adrian Peterson, what the heck was he on? What happened to him? In that specific game, in that NFC Championship game against the Saints, when we had Brett Favre, why the heck was he fumbling the ball so much? I think it was like a handoff, and they just didn't communicate well enough on the handoff, and he just dropped the dang on ball. So the Saints fumbled, and then the Vikings fumbled. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was watching Drew Brees throwing some dimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. Drew Brees wasn't no joke back in the day. He said, you want to see results? Be a Pats fan. If y'all fire Kevin O'Connell, I'll go get Bill Belichick. Nah, I like Bill Belichick, though. Kevin O'Connell has been constantly surrounded by talent. Easily one of the luckiest head coaches there or yet, and can't win a single playoff game in 4 to 5 years. That's insane considering the talent they'd. Bro, but people put Kevin O'Connell on this crazy pedestal. Listen, it was like 80% of the fan base on this channel saying that they believe in Kevin O'Connell, and I'm trying to figure out why. Like, I'm not saying that I don't want him to do good, but where is this confidence at? Just because he won a lot of regular season games? Like, what's going on here? Is there standards just winning regular season games, and never winning in the playoffs? Now, I'm not saying he can't do it this upcoming season. We shall see. But at the same time, come on, man. Trade Jettis to the Pats. Y'all wasting his talent, bruh. Nah, the team, if the Vikings were going to trade JJ, there's 2 teams I will trade him to. I would trade him to, honestly, Drake May would be awesome too, but I will go Josh Allen and I'll go Patrick Mahomes. Those are the two I would want him to go to. Because I want to see how good JJ could honestly be with all-time great quarterbacks. I want to see it. I want to see how good Justin Jefferson can be with all-time great quarterbacks. And I say that respectfully because we haven't seen it. We've seen JJ play good with Sam Darnold. That was his best. I think that was like one of his best seasons. But Sam Darnold only stayed for 1 year. Kirk Cousins was his quarterback. You want me to go down the list? So Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, Joshua Dobbs, Nick Mullins, Carson Wentz, JJ McCarthy. Like, no disrespect, but none of them are even close to Josh Allen. None of them are even close to Patrick Mahomes. And as much as Justin Jefferson want to say, well, I can be good with any quarterback, man, stop with all that, bro. Stop with all that, bro. Stop with all that. If JJ McCarthy ain't the guy and he has another down season, I wouldn't even be mad if Justin Jefferson requests a trade. Don't forget Drake May. Drake beat the #1 defense Texas, #4 defense Chargers, #2 defense Broncos. Yeah, Drake May's a dog. Drake May's a dog. I love Drake May. You know how I feel about Drake. Drake, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the game. He honestly is my favorite. He was my favorite quarterback in that 2024 NFL draft. Y'all know how I feel about Drake. I always have respect for Drake. You know, he just had that game where there's nothing you can do. The better team won. But y'all know how I feel about Drake. We really are, Marcus. We are. I agree. The past season, having him after he got paid, we need production and someone to force feed him the ball, and we couldn't do. You forgot the Saints put a bound. Yeah, exactly. No, I ain't forget. I ain't forget about what the Saints did. That's why I can't stand the Saints. Out of all the teams, right, in my division, I can't stand the Packers. I can't stand the Bears. I can't stand the Lions. But that's all love. It ain't really no dislike. I dislike them, but it's all love at the same time. When it comes to the Saints, that's a whole nother story, bro. That whole bounty gate, I ain't never going to stop. Listen, bro. I don't respect it, bro. I don't respect it. I don't respect it. I don't care. If you're a Saints fan, you should feel some type of way. Man, that was some bull crap. Because if it was the other way around, they would try to say our Super Bowl don't count. If we would have won the Super Bowl and we had bounty gate and we had bounties on players that hurt them and stuff like that, people wouldn't care about the Vikings and us winning a Super Bowl. But since it's the Saints, they don't talk about it. They only time we bring up the bounty gate is if a Viking fan says something like myself when I bring it up. They don't talk about it on ESPN. They don't talk about it. That was some bogus bull crap right there, bro. That was bull crap. Purposely trying to hurt a player because you know you can't beat that player. Nah. That was bogus. I hate it. Look, listen. That bounty gate was on another level, bro. Especially what they were trying to do to Brett Favre. Brett Favre, I don't know how he lasted that game. I don't know how he was walking after that game. Like, I don't know how he was walking. Marcus isn't not necessarily just being wasted. Not necessarily Jets being wasted. You give me the Vikings talent. I coach them to winning records too. That's not an accomplishment. Dag, Mike. We would rather see Coach gone than Jets. Yeah. I don't want Justin Jefferson to leave. But I'll tell you one thing. We ain't going to have a choice if we don't figure out this offense. Because I know for a fact, not for a fact, but I have a feeling that Justin Jefferson will request a trade if he can barely get 1,000 receiving yards again. I'm telling y'all, bro, if you're potentially an all-time great player, you want to not just win. You want to win, that's one thing. You want to be productive and win. You want to be a reason why y'all winning. And it's just like he barely got over 1,000 yards, bro. He had 2 catching touchdowns, bro. And every quarterback that played last year was so up and down. Was so up and down. I'm just being honest. We struggled to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. We struggled to get the ball. We struggled to do everything. From running the ball, passing the ball, everything. And we're running it back with the same coach. With the same coach. And we're expecting a different result. I'm hoping that the results are different. We'll see what happens. Seattle Seahawks team, shout out Max Brosmer, led Minnesota Vikings team. Yeah, that ain't saying too much though. You know, Seahawks are the champs. That game against the Vikings, if we had a healthy Carson Wentz or maybe a healthy J.J. McCarthy, we could have probably won that game. Our defense was so good last year, man. They wouldn't have shut them out if Kevin O'Connell makes a better coaching decision. Facts. You run it there or you kick a field goal. You don't bootleg pass. Exactly. I don't know what the freak they were doing, bro. It's just stupidity. Exactly. Seattle was ranked 5 to 6 as well. He went through the gauntlet postseason. That's true. How many times this season was 3rd and 1 and we passed that? How many times was it 4th and 1 or 2 or maybe even inches too though? We passed and don't think other coaches could notice the tendencies. Yeah. Hello. True. I agree. I agree with everything you just said, bro. What's worse is it's just like it's so predictable. We're going to do a play action pass. Knowing, this is the bridge. I'm about to cross this bridge right here. Knowing that our offensive line is horrible. Well, not horrible. They're banged up. You're still trying to do a play action pass, which makes no sense. Why would you do it? I don't know. I can't answer that question. Why not run a pass defense versus run defense? Kent just says it had a run ball late in the season. Facts. It wouldn't make sense for ESPN to bring up Bounty Gate, the Deflate Gate, Spy Gate. So, yeah, I know. Because it'll make them look bad. I get it. It's a business at the end of the day. NFL is a big multi-billionaire business. So you don't want to make the NFL look bad. I get it. Man, the Favre and Sidney Rice connection was deadly. Yeah, in 09. Yes, bro. He was throwing a Bernard Berrian a lot in that game. I was like, oh my gosh, my guy Bernard Berrian, baby. Y'all remember Bernard Berrian? In the William Wall. Y'all remember Pat Will? Man. We couldn't even win with Pat Williams and Kevin Williams, bro. We had 2 of the best defensive tackles, and we couldn't win. That's crazy work, bro. Simone, what's good? Isn't always brought up the Deflategate. Brady was suspended for... Nah, but he wasn't bringing up... They wasn't bringing up the... whatchamacallit, though. The Bounty Gate, man. They didn't really talk about the Bounty Gate all like that. They talk about the Bounty Gate when it happened, when they found out, when there was a so-called investigation on it. But then they didn't talk about it. They never talk about the Bounty Gate. Maybe the Spy Gate. I think they're talking about it recently because of because Bill Belichick wasn't a first ballot. You know what I'm saying? But that Bounty Gate's way worse than all that, man. I don't care, man. That's just how I feel, man. That Bounty Gate, for me, was the worst you can do, man. When you try to purposely, you're paying players to hurt another player on the opposing team is by far the worst thing. I mean, if I spy on you, I mean, at least I'm not hurting you. You know what I mean? And even if you know the play's coming, doesn't mean you're going to be able to stop it. You might not be able to stop it, even if you know the play. Now, if you hurt a player, guess what? that means he's not going to be able to play he might get knocked out the game, or he's not going to be 100% anymore, and he's not going to be as productive. That's worse than any of that spy gate, the flake gate, all the gates. The bounty gate is the number one, in my honest opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And not just because I'm a Viking fan. Even if I wasn't a Viking fan, and say I was a Chiefs fan, and I would say the same thing, because that was bullcrap, man. The way they was trying to hurt Brett Favre and other players, that's unacceptable when you try to hurt a player on purpose. On purpose. That's beyond just looking at plays and trying to spy on them and, oh, I deflated the football just by a little bit, and you know what I mean? Yeah, it's still bad, it's still wrong, but I'll choose you. So I know. But I would choose Bounty Gate over any of those. Straight up. No, I live in Florida for a reason. Yeah, I'm walking this trail, right? And then I gotta wash myself because I don't want to bust my behind. So like, just snow all over the place. It snowed a couple of was it yesterday? I think yesterday it snowed a little bit, and the day before that, it was a so-called snowstorm. But I literally been you know, gotta wash myself on this trail. The one thing I don't want is the ice that's coming up right now to slip and bust my tail, and y'all all sitting there laughing at me. Hey, Mike, you all right? You know what I'm saying? So if I look at the phone and I don't look at what's happening where I'm stepping, you know, you never know. You never know. No one talks about the Saints, so there's nothing to talk about. Man, Saints get on my nerves, man. Mike, I was talking to my brother last night about the suggestion, why if the NFL rearrange the division, like switch the division around, I think that would be cool. Yeah, wouldn't that be pretty different though? Like, you're right though, but it's so much history with how the divisions are. But it would kind of be cool to switch the division around every year. Like, I'm talking about just in the NFC and in the AFC. Not switching NFC to the AFC, but like switching around. I think that'd be actually like a great idea. That actually is pretty, it'll be kind of different, you know. We're not used to it, but it'll definitely make it interesting. Switch it around. I say switch it around every 5 seasons. Switch it around every 3 seasons. Switch it around every 3 seasons and see what happens. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I think it's just so much history when it comes to the NFC North Division. You could, no matter of fact, you can still keep the NFC North Division. You can still keep the division names, but you can still switch the teams in the NFC. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of creative and different. Oh yeah, Kyle Rudolph. Oh, I love Kyle Rudolph. Oh yeah, I love Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph, to me, one of my favorite tight ends in Viking history, bro. We couldn't get it done, bro. That was crazy. Crazy work, man. But you know, it happens though. It happens, man. But shout out to everybody in the building, man. Appreciate y'all. Vikings, Bengals, Packers, Bears. Nah. We switching it up even more than that, bro. Like, bring the Seahawks in our division. I want to beat the Braves off the champs, man. Bring the Seahawks in our division. Hey, matter of fact, bring the Eagles in our division. So let it be the Eagles, Vikings, Seahawks, and 49ers. Let them be in our division, man. You know what I'm saying? Let it happen, bro. And we'll go to the NFC West division. We'll be called the NFC West division or East division. We switching it all up, bro. That would be kind of cool though. That's a creative way of thinking, because I never would have thought of that. Whoa, what the heck was that? Ooh, I didn't know what that was. But yeah, man. Seattle wouldn't make sense because they on the West Coast. Y'all in the Midwest. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Listen, man. I want Seattle in my division, though, man. I want to beat the brace off of them, man. Hey, listen, Sammy D. This ain't nothing personal, bro. But yeah, Rob Brzezinski. Should Viking fans believe in him? And my whole thing is, I don't think any Viking fan should believe in anything that Kevin O'Connell says or Rob says, because we want to go by results. We don't want to go by words. We got to stop going by words. We got to go by what the results are on that football field. They could talk highly about the decisions, the decisions that they're about to make, but at the same time, if the decisions that they make aren't productive on that football field, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. I want to see production on that football field, because I want, as a Viking fan, I want us to get our first Super Bowl. And I don't think we're that far from it. I don't think the Vikings are that far from it. We're going to win Super Bowl 61, baby. Yeah. We're going to win Super Bowl 61. I said it. I said it and I meant it. Everybody in the building, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. It helps the channel so much when you hit the like button, and also hit the subscribe button. We are going live for absolutely every Viking game with the scoreboard and everything. And whether you're a Viking fan or not, consider subscribing. This is one YouTube family. Sports are designed to bring us together, not separate us. And we're also going to be going live for primetime games as well. Oh, yeah. Jared Allen. Heck yeah. Yeah, we had a squad, bro. And we couldn't get it done. Some bull crap. I think we can give him a chance to build a cap team. Both Buffalo and Kevin O'Connell would like, but that's going to depend on what they want to put on the field. That's true. That's true. You know, they sound like they talk like they sound like they, you know, might be on the same page. And I'm talking about Rob and Kevin O'Connell. But like, I want to see what they do in the draft. I want to see what they do in free agency. I want to see if they're really going to make a difference on this team. That's what I want to see. And the big difference that I want to see is a playoff run, baby. You know, yeah, I want to see a playoff run, bro. That's how I look at it. Yeah. Here go the delusional version of my, yeah, man. Let's go to the bowl, baby. We ain't that far away, baby. We ain't that far away from winning the Super Bowl. I truly believe that. Yeah. I'm talking that talk and walking that walk. You see me? Yeah, I rock with the Vikings no matter what, but I still try to keep it real. I still try to keep it real with y'all. If I don't like something, I'm going to speak about it. Straight up. But we got to see some different, we got to see something different. But shout out to everybody in the building. I am about to get off. I want to say thank you for everybody that's vibing with me. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful night, wonderful day, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time zone you're on. You know what I mean? Have a wonderful day. God bless to y'all. And be safe. Until next time, peace out. You might as well accept the Robert Kraft offer. Man, Robert Kraft want me to be a part of the Patriots. I need him to call me personally. Call me personally, man. And if he calls me personally and he gives me a job, you know I'm rocking with it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Vikings, I got offered a job, man. I'm with the Patriots right there. You know what I'm saying? Robert Kraft, hit me up, man. But shout out to everybody in the building. God bless. Have a wonderful day. And I'm out.